Hey everyone, it's Jason, and welcome to the unboxing of Flutter. This is a pollinating flower game by Phase Shift Games, who have also made other games I've done, or videos I've done, which were like Dungeon Drop, Deep Dive Drop, we're like dicing, or like cube games, you drop stuff. So this is a different style game, where you are picking up these tiles and you're trying to pollinate flowers. So it says grow a meadow of wings and pollen. Place meadow tiles, grow flowers, and pollinate the meadows. So you're picking up tiles. You're trying to match these flower symbols on there. And when you match the different petals, you gain points. And then as you enclose certain things in, you use the points to pay for other stuff. You're trying to eventually gain pollen here. So we're going to start off by going through the instructions, and then we're going to start looking at all the actual game pieces. Now, like lots of games I do where they have cards to read and all this, there's not a whole lot of other stuff for me to read on any of these, so most of these will be the rules. But what we are going to also do is we have the Meadow-Wood edition as well. So this is an alternative deluxe version of the game. It's the exact same game in the box. All the components are the same, number-wise. They're just, this just has a couple extra little special perks. So it's gonna have some wooden tokens, wooden metal tiles, wooden trackers, plus a model insert for all your different tiles to put in. So we're gonna look at this as well. We're gonna kind of compare the two, so you can decide if you want to pick up the regular version or the metal edition. If you want to spend the extra money on getting the higher quality one. We'll look at that towards the end of the video. So here's just look at some of the components quick before I hop into the instructions. So in the main game, we're going to get our tiles here. Different colors: blue, green, pink, white, and yellow. One for each player. Backsides are those. They popped out. They're all the exact same information, so they're just different colors. Otherwise, they're not the same thing. Different numbers you get increased. So nothing's changed on there. So it's 100% the same for every player. We have some big wooden bee tokens, which are used in the game for various effects we'll get into. We have some different petal tokens. These are to keep track for each player. They keep track on here, so each one will have a set of these. So they have a red, a blue, a purple, and a yellow, and they keep track as they go along on there. We have a sun token, keeps track of our piles. And if we flip this up, now you'll notice though there's nothing special here to hold all these. When you get done, you're just going to dump all these back in here. We have all these different tiles here. Which we're going to kind of show. Each one is going to have a different animal on it. And each different color, so red are all going to have hearts, which is just going to be used for points later in the game. Then the corner, some will have, any corners on the sides, they'll have different petals of flowers, which we're trying matching. And then we have pollen points. If we flip these over, pollens are clear or empty on the other side, so you can keep your score hidden. But if we look at this tile here, so yellow, blue is going to be the same on both sides. So that won't make a difference there. So we're going to get, looks like we got 3 copies of the red ones, which all have the exact same pictures and all that. Same exact, now the flowers are different. So the hummingbird ends up being the same. I'm going to see the ladybug is different. We have a purple down here, yellow there, blue. So some of those are going to change. Same thing if we look at our 2 butterflies down here. Spots in the same areas. Banging my camera around. But different petals in each one. So, yep, so they're going to be a little bit different in each set. We get 3 sets of reds. We have some yellow ones, hummingbirds, ladybugs, dragonflies, butterflies, and moths. But yeah, we'll get 3 for the yellows. if it wants to pop off. And it doesn't even say number down there. We got some blue ones. And then we have our purple ones. And then finally we have a rainbow bee tile, which is our starting tile, and we have some water tokens, which will have various. These are blank on the back side. So you can play these face down so you don't know what's coming up, and then you'll play these at various points. You'll gain various rewards for whichever one you play. So those are all different tiles. So now you guys have an idea of what those look like. So let's hop into the rule book. Alright, so here's just, again, showing off some of the different stuff there. We're not going to get into that too much. But if we look at our rules, so I want to skip starting of the game. I want to jump over here first. Is how to win. During play, you score pollen points by pollinating the meadow and strategically placing your bee. Leftover petals are worth additional pollen points in the game ends. Player with the most pollen points wins. So those were the pollen points are the little gray ones there. It's your overall points. Setup is very, very simple. Place the rainbow bee in the start of the table. Create the meadow rondo. Separate the meadow piles by shapes in 5 stacks. So you'll have the 5 different shapes. But you'll have all the colors mixed up, so you don't know which is which. Shuffle each stack, arrange them in a circle off to the side of the player in any order. Remove the number, based on other players, remove the number of stacks. So if there's the more players they are, you're going to remove less tiles. But that way, a 2-player game doesn't take forever, versus a 5-player game. Place a sun token on the ladybug diamond shape stack, or select a random one for more variety. So this is how you want to start the game. Shuffle all the water tiles, place them face down in the center. Place the pollen tokens with a numbered side up, so you can see which numbers you need face up. And then the player setup. The player most recently marveled at the wonder of nature is the first player. Starting with the first player, proceeding clockwise, player selects a color and corresponding bee token. Place the 1 petal of each color for a total on the 0 space on your tracker. So your game board will look like this. Starting token, each player has this. Doesn't again matter what color or bee or color you have, as long as your bee matches your board. And you place all your tokens on the 0 spot on your board. Again, all the boards are the exact same. It's just to give you, just so you know who's who. Alright, this is a really fun guide I like here for the beginning of the game. So it sets up how to play. So it says step 1, rotate the sun. So you're going to move it from one stack to the next in clockwise rotation. Step 2, select a tile. Selected that one. Step 3, place a tile. They're going to place it here. And then it says A and B. And step 4 is grow flowers. Grow matching flowers and grow mismatched flowers. So A, showing we have matching colors. Or B would be like mismatching colors. Just showing you matching some of the different colors there. Step 5, pollinate the meadow. So fill in the pond spots. So that's going to be this empty hole here. We got to fill this thing. And then score enclosed spaces. So any ones that are completely covered, we have to now count them. And then 6 is place your bee. So I call this just as a little brief. Here's how the 6 turns work, and just showing in one simple thing. And it says you'll move your pollen starting steps 4 and 5. The end game. The game triggers when the last tile of any stack in the rondo is placed in the meadow. Proceed, indicating end game section. The player with the most pollen points wins. So as soon as one of these stacks is empty, every player basically gets to take one final. After one player plays it, every other player gets one final turn, and then the game ends. So now we're going to have our breakdown on how each different step works. Rotating the sun. Skip this step on the first turn. Move the sun token in the next stack clockwise. In a 5-player game, each time is the first player's turn, move the sun 1 additional stack forward. This is just so it doesn't always, you're not always stuck on the exact same rotation of 5. Otherwise, it would be, player 1, player 2, player 3, player 4, and then player 5, it would start back here, be player 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Otherwise, everyone's always having the exact same options. So that way, yeah, if you 5 players, just move it 1 extra 1 just so it rotates every turn. Alright, on step 2, selecting a tile. You may always select the tile that's located on the stack just after the sun token at no cost. Alternatively, you may pay petals to skip the stack. You can skip 1 stack directly in front by paying 1 petal of the color of the pollinator, so the animal on the tile, showing on the top of the stack. Move the petal down. Move the petal token that color down 1 space in your petal tracker. You may pay 2 for the next, 3, and then 4. If you want to play the one that has the sun on it, by paying 4, you're paying a total of 10 totals. Because your player starts again, no petal skipping tile stacks is impossible until later in the game. Testing tiles. You're always allowed to test how a tile might fit into the middle before officially selecting it. Turn the tile to the top of the stack if you choose not to. Now, I agree with this to an extent. You want to kind of be able to do it instead of just having to randomly pick, but you also want to make sure people aren't spending 20 minutes checking it, picking up all 5 tiles. Oh, can I do this, can I do this, can I do this, and then the game is taking 2 hours a turn. So you gotta kind of just be careful. Can't legally place a tile. Well, this is nearly an impossible scenario. If you cannot legally place a tile you're eligible to select, remove the tile just after the sun token from the game and gain 1 petal of each color. Cool. Alright, and then we're going to grade here, we're going to step 3, placing a tile. Place the tile you selected in the middle following these rules. You may rotate or flip the tile as desired before placement. 1 or more sides of the tile you place must touch the side of 1 or more tiles already in the meadow, and you must grow at least 1 flower. If a flower is growing wherever 1 or more petals on the tile you're placing, touch 1 or more petals of another tile, whether they match or not. So, here's kind of combining those 2 steps. We have step 1 is Lily wants to play the red ladybug tile, which is here. So we're currently here. She could play the blue hummingbird for free, but she wants to play this one. So she has to play 6 petals. So she has to pay 1 blue, 2 purple, and another 3 purple, for a total of 6 petals to be able to select this one. So it's kind of a neat way, is you kind of earn these resources by playing the game, and you can spend them to kind of choose what you would want instead of always just being stuck with the next option. Or just be able to select whatever you want. You can place the tile in the top left of the dragonfly is showing here because it touches both the sides. It's touching the side of the dragonfly and matches the flowers. She cannot place it below here because it does not touch one of the flowers. She'd have to either place it on this corner or that corner. Just very simple. Just gotta match up the things. Growing flowers. A properly placed tile always grows at least 1 flower, which can be classified as either matching or mismatched. Matching flowers are considered matching if any of the petals on the tile match at least 1 of that flower's petals. Mismatched, conversely, if none of the petals match. Rainbow petals on the starting bee match all colors. So if we are growing a flower, for each matching flower, increase the petal token on your petal tracker board corresponding to all the flowers' matching petals. Both on the tiles you play and any tiles that touches it. So here we go. So I love these examples. These are really great. Corey placed a red ladybug tile. It's highlighted in yellow there. Gains 2 blue petals circled by the 1 for the 2 on his tile, and he gains 1 for the 1 on the third one. So he gains 3 total. Note he does not gain a red because it does not match a red tile. Gains 4 purple for the other side. Even though it's just that tip of it touching, it still counts. And then it gains 3 for the bottom one. So as long as any part of it touches, it doesn't have to be a full side, it can be a corner. Because they're linking together. Also, there's enclosed space here. We'll get to that later. Grow mismatch flowers. For each mismatch flower, decrease the petal token on your petal tracker corresponding to all flowers mismatched. So here we see they placed this one. So in set 1, since the yellow, red, and blue do not match, he's going to have to lose 1 point for each of those. For 2, the purple does not match the yellow, so he's going to lose 1 purple and 3 yellow. And for here, he's going to lose 2 blue and 1 purple. So this was a terrible move on this person's part. They should have played the blue part over here and maybe just got the 5 blue or 6 blue points instead, or tried to turn that yellow over here. Various different ways, but that was basically a terrible move. I want to look back at this one now. So if you look at this, after a person gained everything, because they have matching tiles, they don't have to worry about the red one. It's only if none of them match. You just have to worry about the mismatching. So that's why you always have to play it, even if it won't fit in where you want. Yeah, so they can mismatch as long as something else matches. You cannot gain more than 21 petals of any color, nor any excess you would have. So these are basically just resources to spend and gain. And don't have enough petals to play. If you don't have enough petals to pay for a mismatched flower, you cannot place that tile that way. Yeah, so this person couldn't pay this unless they could afford to pay all of this stuff, which is a lot to pay for. But maybe it's late in the game and they can afford to. Alright, step 5 is pollen meadow. If any space and or tiles are fully enclosed after you place a tile, you must fill the pollen ponds and score the enclosed tiles respectively. Enclosing meadow tiles is primarily to gain pollen points and win the game. A closed space is considered to be enclosed when all of its sides fully bordered the other meadow or water tiles. Now this just has to do with borders, not corners. So fill in pollen ponds. If you play a tile, if the tile you place encloses any amount of empty spaces, fill that space complete with water tiles. Draw and place a water tile space up in the empty space, gain the printed reward. You could gain 1 pollen point, 2 petals of the indicated color, 1 petal of any color, the rainbow petal, or gain no reward. So that was our water tiles. So we did see those. They'll fill them up periodically. So they're showing there. It says, Yijing placed the purple dragonfly right there. So it touched there. So and it matched them blue flowers. So that's why I was able to go all the way across. And fills a large triangular dead space with 4 water tiles. So right here. Now you could say, well, you could have played one of those guys or one of these guys or another sized character, maybe one of these big hummingbirds in there. Doesn't matter. It fills it up. So yeah, by playing some of these like that, it's definitely going to help fill up some of them spaces. And it says 2 metal tiles were also enclosed. So we'll look at that in a moment. If you run a water tile, treat any further empty spaces as enclosed, filled with tiles for the purpose of the game. Gain 1 pollen point for each space that would have been filled. So yeah, they're going to gain 1 yellow, 1 blue, 1 of any color, and then 1 pollen point. Enclosed metal tiles. If you place a tile that causes 1 or more metal tiles to become enclosed, proceed to spawn and pay a number of petals equal to the number of white sparkles on the tile, matching the color of the tile's pollinator. Can't pay for an enclosed metal tile if you do not have enough to pay the cost. You do not pay any petals, and each of your opponent immediately gains a bonus. Now this is the thing, you have to be careful when you're playing these, because if you can't afford to pay them, then your opponents are going to gain a bonus. Gain pollen equal to the number of white sparkles on the tile. Take the appropriate value of pollen tokens from your supply, keep them face down in front of you to hide your score. If the enclosed tile is a bee token on it, the player who owns that bee immediately gains 2 pollen points. Then that player may immediately place a bee token on another unenclosed tile or put it back to their petal tracker. And there's multiple bees, you just do them in order. Very simple. So for example here in that last picture, now they did change up what tiles were in here, but the water, but that doesn't matter. Place that purple dragonfly. Pays 4 blue petals for the enclosed blue hummingbird. Since now once you fill in these water tiles, it filled up that side. Otherwise, it's already enclosed on the other 2. And there's 4 little squares next to it. So you have to pay 4 blue points to gain 4 pollen points. And then the other one that got filled up by this, because this one covered up the top there, because it's previously covered on these 3 sides, was the purple ladybug. Which has 2, does not have 2 purple points dispense. Now each other player gains 1 point or half the sparkles. So that wasn't too bad. Enclosing the rainbow bee does nothing. So don't worry about doing that. Enclosing only happens once. So the tower space cannot be enclosed or scored more than once per game. So very simple, very simple. Alright, then we have place your bee. If your bee is not already on a tile in the middle, you may place it on any tile. The tile does not already have a bee on it, does not already enclosed, and is not the rainbow bee. Alternatively, you may keep it on your bee next to your petal trackers and place it during a further step. When you place your bee becomes enclosed by any player, you immediately gain 2 pollen. You may then immediately place it on another eligible tile, following the rules above, or you may keep it next for later on. Bees cannot be moved voluntarily. You cannot voluntarily move your bee once it has been placed. So the whole point of placing your bee down is you might not want to do it on, even though it's step 6, you might not want to do it until like turn 5 or 6. Because you want to place it on when you know something's about to get covered, because you're going to gain points. But now do you place it on, do you place it on a butterfly that has 8 points? Or do you place it on a ladybug that has 2 points? The thing is, right, it gets in, someone else encloses it, right? You're only going to gain 2 versus gaining 8. But it's also a difference between maybe how quickly a smaller tile gets covered up, and you might be able to do a 2, and a 4, and you might be able to cut this ladybug quick, and then maybe move to the hummingbird and get that one, and then maybe move it over to the dragonfly for later on, versus placing on a butterfly right away, and then it takes half the game, and nobody's did that, or maybe nobody finishes that one because it's so big. Maybe it always remains on the outside. So that's just kind of like, we'll kind of just see what you can do with that. And of course, once you have placed your bee token to the side, not to plastic pair to the left will begin step 1. Alright, end game. Triggered when any last tile is picked up. Active player finishes their turn. Now, continuing player or all other players take 1 final turn, ignoring empty stacks in the metal roundel for the purpose of the sun movement, selecting a tile or skipping stacks. In other words, pretend the stack was never there. So player 3 might go, they might empty the last 1 stack, let's say butterflies. Then next player gets to go. Now, they'll skip over that one if they don't want to take that, if they don't want to take it wherever it is. Let's say player 4 does one, the player swings back around to player 1, they get rid of the ladybug as well. Now, player 2 is going to skip the butterfly and the ladybug. So it could potentially happen by the end of the game. Players receive bonus pollen for their unused petals for each petal token. Players gain a number of pollen tokens indicated in the upper right. On their petal tracker, the player with the most pollen points wins. Tie goes to the player with the most remaining petals. So it's just showing at the end, they gain 0 for the purple, 1 for their blue, 2 for their yellow, and 4 for their red. So you gain 7 bonus points. And that's how you basically score the game. And then the whole thing is the other way to get it is by placing them water tiles might potentially get you some pollen points, or enclosing stuff, but you want to be able to pay for them. So you don't want to enclose stuff as soon as possible because you might not have the pollen or the petals to pay for it, and therefore other opponents will gain points as well. But you can always maybe hopefully trap other players. So it's very interesting. The perfect information variant. For a game with less randomness, water tiles are always placed face down and are worth 1 pollen point each. This results in a game with nearly perfect information where players must rely solely on their own strategy to win. Because right now when you fill in them water, you might get a pollen point, you might get a petal, you might get nothing. You don't know. But if you're all worth 1 point no matter what, then everyone knows exactly what they're going to be getting. So there's the thing. So that's Flutter. Very, very simple rules. Very easy to understand, but could be kind of a test of strategy to master, to see what everything is. Alright, so now we've looked at that, I do want to compare the other versions. So we have this, we're going to look at kind of all the base stuff in here. Again, we can pop all these tiles out. all that stuff's gonna kind of just lay in there. All the tokens are kind of gonna lay in there. So that's sort of a downside of the base game box. Is everything's just gonna kind of be tossed in there. There's no separate little trays or anything. But you know, sometimes that's just what happens. But let's look at our deluxe edition and see if it's maybe worth the extra money. I don't know what I don't remember the exact difference in price. It might be based on retail. Now, the regular version should hit regular retail shelves, all your board game stores probably, but I don't know if it's going to be hitting Walmarts and Targets and stuff. It might. That'd be really awesome. Otherwise, you can probably pick up to the store. The deluxe edition, I'm going to guess, is only going to be at board game stores if they ordered this version, or through the Phase Shift Game website. So, again, let's see whether it's worth checking out. So it does say here, contains custom insert and 100% FSC compliant Forest Steward Council wooden tiles and player boards. So the instructions are the exact same. Same exact instructions, nothing there. So now we have this big deluxe box. So we're going to get big wooden tokens here. I'm going to grab these over here. So yeah, here's our comparison. So these have a little bit more shimmer to them. They are definitely thicker because they're wood. Let's see the difference there. I mean, they're not like super terribly much thicker. But yeah, being wood is really nice. They're nice graphics on there. A little bit, again, like a sheen to it. The things you might have to worry about that maybe. You're going to notice here is like, okay, so like the butterflies and the birds, they kind of have like a little emboss on them. They don't on these because the entire thing. It's just the way it's going to be built. But yeah, these guys all go in here. They have their own nice, this is the other nice thing about this, is it has a nice little tray for it. We can pop this lid off, has the phase shift symbol there, which is really cool. Then we get this cool rondelle in here for the actual game to be played. So we have our sun token. So it's the exact same token. Nothing different there. So nothing changes there. We have our petals, same exact thing. Wooden petals, nothing changed. We have our bees. Bees are bees. They didn't like change them at all, make them look like different bees. So those are all the same. But we do get big wooden pollen points, which I kind of like. This is one thing definitely I think is a big upgrade. Because these things are thick. So they're nice. They have the symbols on them, nice and easy to read. Versus this. So like physically same size like this way. They're about the same size. But you can definitely see the difference in thickness. These are going to be a lot easier to pick up and move around versus these little tokens. So that's pretty cool. But the gang also realized they're going to take up a lot more room. So these are just the ones, and then we have some 5s and 10s over here. So they're going to take up quite a bit more room in there. And then you can take out this rondo in here. So now this is set up already to play the game. Obviously the water tokens need to be flipped over if you're going to flip them over. But we have our water tokens. Again, the difference is going to be these kind of have, the wooden ones kind of have like that embossedness on there on the different triangles where these guys don't. But that's because it's just they couldn't really afford to do both. Harder to print that on wood because you have to paint it on there where these are printed pictures. So that's kind of your aesthetic there. Do you want the thicker wooden tiles? Or do you kind of want like the little embossed pictures? But yeah, this is all set up. Like you probably have to pull all these out and shuffle them. But I can pull all of my wooden tiles out. They're already a little bit shuffled, but I can shuffle them up. However, you can drop them back in here. And then now you have this set up for all the players. So now it's just all ready to go, and that's going to help kind of keep them from falling over. you know, not that the cardboard ones are going to fall over, like, super easily anyhow. But that's definitely a nice little feature. I'm just going to pop out a bunch of these butterflies quick here. And there's that one. I think I got one more. So there's my stack of butterflies versus, if I reach my finger in here, whoops, I got all twisted, turned upside down. West Philadelphia, it's here, born and raised. There is our difference in size. So yeah, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 versus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Why am I missing a bunch? Oh, there we go. 9, 10, 11. Let's pop all these up. I'm going to compare them. I should probably compare the right number. So yeah, there's our 12 butterflies versus our other 12 butterflies. So it's just about half the size. So there's the other differences. These are going to take up a lot more room. But if we have them on the table, it's not like these are going to like fall all over the place. Or you could take these out if you don't want to use that rondelle. This one here, you could pop them off. They're not going to like slide everywhere. They're kind of a little bit grippy. So I don't think there's a big difference in either way there. But again, you can kind of see they have that little shimmer on the butterfly versus these guys don't. Now I just noticed it right here. There's a little paint splotch there. It happens. It's not that big of a deal though, right? Otherwise, they're physically the same size like this. So that's not an issue there either. So they're going to all work the same way. They're all going to have the same symbol, same pictures on them. So other than this deluxe edition being big, giant, thick wooden tokens, they're the exact same game. Again, this is kind of neat though, so I can drop this in there. Now, this again, kind of to point out with the regular version is where, like I said, where, let me drop that token. This guy over here, is we didn't really have a spot to put all the stuff. So you're going to end up with the same kind of issue as I have the petals. You're going to have to put all the stuff probably back in these little baggies. But at least that is one thing, is it has all the little baggies, right? So I can drop my tokens in there. I can drop those ones in there. Drop my bees in here. Throw my cover back on. And I can always throw my, tiles back in here. Why are you not fitting the way you're supposed to? You go that way. Oh, so I have to have this the correct direction in the box, otherwise they don't fit, which makes sense. So yeah, this kind of helps store all the little tiles and stuff a little bit better, so they're not just randomly bouncing around the box. Although it's kind of the downside, is not something for this. I get because they're trying to keep in that physical space of the box. I would have, I guess, myself would have preferred. I get, because this is a standard box size, so I get it. They're just trying to figure out how to fit everything into the standard box size. It would have been nice if there would have been somewhere for all these things to go to, so you could almost just pick up the entire game. Whoops. Pull it out and be like, oh, here's this, or here's an extra little slightly longer box with like a tray for all them to set them in. That would have been kind of nice as well, but I get it. I understand. A lot of games don't have that. But yeah, this is definitely a neat thing. Then you can pull this all the way out. You're basically ready to go. You just got to dump all your things back into the box. Otherwise, yeah, same rules, same things. It's just up to you whether you want the wooden edition or if you want to pick up this. Also, I got this little metal sun, which is really cool. It's black on the one side, otherwise it's a little 3D. Not necessarily if anything, it might be almost harder to pick up than the other one. Let me just grab it. That was just a bonus for ordering this during Kickstarter. But yeah, there's your two suns. This is, yeah, picking this up fairly easy because it's 3D. This one, I can't really pick this up as well, but you can slide it off a stack. But it's kind of pointy. So yeah, if you ever see this like in the store, if it's like, if they're selling it and you're like, oh, maybe, it's up to you if you want it. It's kind of cool. But yeah, there we go. Yeah, so really, it's just your butterfly tiles and your main game board tiles and the water tiles and your points. These are the big ones I like. The tiles I could really go either way with. The point board I could go either way with. For being wood or for not being wood. They're both definitely doable. But just wanted to show that off. I'm going to check one thing. Okay, I just did a quick look up on the Phase Shift game website. I just want to see what the price difference was between these. And yeah, I may have gotten a deal during the Kickstarter for ordering them early and stuff like that, so I can't speak to that. I don't remember what I paid for them. But the basic edition is $35 right now during their on their store. The wooden edition is $70. It is on sale, but it's $70. It's twice as much. So again, that's up to you. I get it. Wood costs more to make than cardboard tiles. So I'm not complaining about the price in there. But that is definitely why I wanted to do a video like this. You can decide if essentially buying 2 copies of this game is worth having wooden tiles or not. And the special rondelle. It's all them extra pieces in there, especially all these extra wooden tokens like this. They're going to cost more to make. But yeah, that's up to you if that's something you want to spend the extra money and get the deluxeified version with the extra little bit better quality components. The wood's definitely going to last a lot longer than the cardboard. So there we go. That's what we have for you. That was Flutter, our pollinating flower game. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys have any questions, comments, want to hit me up in the comments section. I'd love to hear from you. See you guys later. Bye.